I'm sat here with a notebook in front of me, which I never do for Dice Funk. I'm making notes. I never do notes. But this season, I've got to be aware of what's going on. I got to take this seriously.
I have a little open office file opened to remind me of things that are not on my character sheet. So yeah, same. If you hear any clicking clacking, I assure you it's that. I'm not checking my email.
Oh no, I'm just here to write down like any name of anything is now important, and I'm gonna know names of everything. This will be the season where I know what things are called.
Same.
I intend to forget more about this season than I learn.
Okay.
So that's going to be my strategy going in. Nothing will be retained, and I'll actually leave the season having known less about it.
I like the idea of coming in like that, because like as I'm DMing half this season, what if I just like deliberately make an effort not to remember what things are called and then give them entirely new names for the other half of the season just to really throw a spanner in the works?
That would be radical. That would be art.
Hello, I am Austin Yorsky. This is Dice Funk, an actual play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast. We're going to play Dungeons & Dragons, which is a game where I am the narrator and all the minor characters, or NPCs, and the other voices you hear are going to be the protagonists or player characters, PCs. And we're going to go around and introduce ourselves before we start playing. But as far as the game goes, we try to make it very intuitive. Basically, we're going to roll some dice now and then to decide how things work out on a scale of 1 to 20, 20 being a crit, 1 being a botch. Those are the best and worst you can do, respectively, and everything else is on a spectrum between there. It'll make sense. I think everyone has gotten a lot more D&D literate over the 8 years we've been doing this. I feel like when I started, I was like, I have to explain what this is. No one knows. And now everyone's like, yeah, dog, I know.
I watched Stranger Things, dude. I get it.
Mm-hmm. It's possible to go above that 20, but generally, like, a thing's going to be said. It's going to be like perception. You can probably, as a listener, work out, cool, on a scale of 1 to 20, how well did they perceive? Like, we'll tell you what we're doing, and then a number will say if we did it good.
Absolutely. So once again, that's me, Austin Yorsky, the voice you're currently hearing. Austin Yorsky on Twitter, Austin Yorsky on Patreon, Austin Yorsky on Letterboxd, which I just got one. It's my new social media thing. Who knows what we're going to have in the future. It's Austin Yorsky everywhere, very easy to find. Who else is here with me?
I'm here, and my name is Quinn. She, they. You can find me doing a manga podcast over at youtube.com/weekly manga recap and weeklymangarecap.podbean.com. And I guess you can find me on Twitter still. I rarely post. You can find me also. I think I made an account for Hive, and somewhere in the grand depths of Mastodon, I have an account that made one post on, and then I lost my account details, and I don't know how to get back. So yeah, find me there. Follow me specifically there. That's how I know you're a real fan.
Yeah, you know you're in good hands. Quinn's first announcements are, I'm going to forget everything about this show as it happens, and I don't know how to log into my own email. So,
I can get into my email. Mastodon's a little complicated, all right? There's a lot of little doodads and knobs, widgets.
You gotta remember what federated server you're on?
I can't. I assume I would have picked a cool one, but at the time, who knows what past Quinn thought was funny and might have joined.
See, I remember mine. I'm on tech.lgbt. Those are some things I can remember.
All right, that's a great place to start, Laura. You're effort posting this season, so let us know how we can find you.
I'm Laura, she, her pronouns. You can find me at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. Mastodon is Laura K. Buzz at tech.lgbt. If there's a place where you can have a username, I'm probably Laura K. Buzz there. I review video games. Largely, I make videos about making video games more accessible to disabled players. Go check those out on YouTube. That's what I do. and I'm here playing the game, but I'm also going to be DMing part of this season, so look out for that in episodes that aren't this one.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. Somehow Leon returned. Hi, everyone. I'm Leon. I host a show called Renegade Cut. It is on YouTube. Very easy to find by typing those words into it. It's mostly about leftist politics. You can find me on Twitter at Renegade Cut. I used to be on the show in seasons 1, 2, and a very small part of 3. I am back, and better than ever. Nah, just back.
Yeah, we'll see. Your work will speak for you.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think we've been on an episode together, because I tagged in just as you were leaving, so I'm like,
yeah.
It's good to know that it wasn't a case of like, oh no, Laura's turn. I've got to get out of here before Laura does.
This reunion was foretold in the scrolls. I've seen it in the ancient hieroglyphics to you two touching hands from across the void of space.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we have to? What are the introductory things we have to do? It's been a while since I started a season.
I guess our characters, or I don't know. It's been a while. It's been even longer since I've done this.
Yeah. Do you want to give us a sense of like the little, here's the spiel of what the season is, and then we tell people who our characters are so that we can put the person with the character?
Absolutely. So, as many longtime listeners will know, we are back in space this season. Season 10 is going to be set in the Far Realm, which was what it's called, the home of illithids, aka mind flayers. This is like the deepest, darkest reaches of space, far away from everything you know would be traditionally familiar with in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. We are relying a lot on the Spelljammer supplement to D&D, which is a space-based product, but we're also going to do a lot of our own stuff. You don't need to know anything about any previous seasons or any established lore. We will let you know when things are important, and also the game has a mechanic called rolling history to know things. So many players on the show have never listened to the show before, so it has to work that way.
Yeah, if there's anything that like is relevant, it'll come up. We're not going to expect you to be like, ha, I checked the TV tropes page. I know what that's about.
Okay.
People love to do that. They love to check the TV tropes page.
I mean, the TV tropes page is pretty fun, but it's not required reading for. It's a standalone little story. You can jump in right here.
So Mind Flayers are going to be a premier concern this season. They are kind of one of the iconic Dungeons and Dragons villains. But in our world, they're right now going through a period of incredible change. I compared this in the pre-production to the Klingons in Star Trek, how they were just kind of one-dimensional villains to start off with. But as this series continues, more of them come integrated into the larger galactic community. And right now, you all are on a diplomatic mission into the Far Realm to kind of build bridges with the illithid community, to bring them the technology to create bodies without killing people. I think the most iconic thing about Mind Flayers is they put their tadpole in your eye and then they eat your brain and turn into adult mind flayers. That's their whole life cycle. It's a big, xenomorph-esque body horror thing. But
we've had a few of them pop up in previous seasons. Their whole thing is I've got tentacles all over me. And
they're squid boys.
Yeah, they're space. They're magic space squids that burrow into your brain and become a little hybrid person, and that's how they grow. Okay. They like telepathy, and they got a big brain they chat to sometimes.
All right. And we want to make peace with them.
Leon, I love you so much.
I mean, I guess it's better for them to be our friends than our enemies, considering all the tentacles. And
the options we have are a world in which they continue to reproduce by burrowing into our brains, or one where we find a peaceful coexistence without them burrowing into our brains. I know which one seems more chill to me.
Oh man, it'd be so funny if the first time you see one though, you're like, monster! And just start shooting.
Fuck off, you Cthulhu-looking motherfuckers. I'm just gonna crush you.
So Austin, we're in space trying to make diplomatic relations with some mind flayers.
Yes, so you're all aboard this giant generation ship. It is big enough that you can take on illithids fleeing from cultures who do not want to make friends. And you can also drop off people into friendly societies if they want to be there. So it has like a fully stocked kind of living situation. This is the main home of this season, especially for these characters. Your party is what we're calling the home team. You all live here on the ship, and you're going to stay here on the ship. Mm-hmm. So that's who we're being introduced to right now, is the home team of season 10. So anybody wants to introduce your character and give us a peek inside of their character sheet, now would be a great time.
Sure. So my character's name is Saint Cecilia, nickname Cece, she, they. They are vampire. I'm not going to bury the lead. There's no hidden twist halfway through the season. I am a rogue, but don't think of me as like sneaky and like murdery. Just like, hey, everyone needs some form of self-defense, and mine is maybe get underneath somebody and stab them in the armpit a couple times, whatever weak point they have. She is the communicator for the team, communications, that's what it is. And like me, they have ADHD, so if I stop and seem confused by the situation, just understand that's all in character, and I don't know why I walked into that room either. But yeah, she is deeply interested in space and exploring, but maybe doesn't have much motivation beyond that right now, because she's lived a very long time, and maybe it's hard to find things that motivate you at this point. I don't know.
So vampire is normally a monster in Dungeons and Dragons. You're using a specific kind of race option is what it's called. Where'd that come from? What's that all about?
So there's quite a few different variations of vampire classes that you can find throughout all of D&D and its extended properties, but this one is specifically a reflavored version of a Magic the Gathering release, where they basically synergize their brands to say, hey, there are vampires in Magic the Gathering. Let's make it so you can play those types of vampires in your D&D game as well. So I decided to take one of those. I believe it was Zendikar vampires, but the type doesn't matter. They're all relatively the same, except for the one place where they're horrible monsters, but I'm not that kind.
Yeah, if you were a Tarkir vampire, that'd be sick. You have like a proboscis.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that kind. This is fancy, over the top vampire. Like, I don't know what a regulation uniform is for this company we work for, but if we're allowed a little flair, I have a very large cape. Just imagine that.
Yeah, that's something we should talk about, is how military do we want to be, because Star Trek is an obvious influence, but that has a very rigid hierarchy. And usually in role-playing games, you don't want someone like giving you orders, right? You want to have agency over your character to a larger extent. So I'm fine with this being just kind of like an NGO or something where you don't have people like saluting and stuff, if that's what you all want to do.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, my uncle is Strahd. Got to get that in there. It was on my character sheet. Austin never said no, so it's canon.
I did see that. It wasn't worth fighting you.
Your uncle is who?
Uncle Strahd, Count Strahd, is like the big vampire antagonist of the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Oh.
Has like his entire own separate shadow realm, and it's a whole elaborate thing. And I just thought it'd be funny if I'm just casually related to him.
I'm definitely on board with the slightly less military than Star Trek setup, even though it does sort of take away our opportunity to like slam a badge down on a table and be like, you can't fire me, I quit. We lose a little bit of that, but I think it's probably a worthwhile trade-off.
So Saint Cecilia, the vampire rogue. Did you say rogue?
Yes. I guess I should also note right now, because the big question people might have is like, well, wait, don't vampires need to feed upon the living? And no, not in this current area, because a synthetic substitute has been invented. But I think we'll get into that more later. But just so you know, there's no fear about necessarily having a vampire amongst you.
Yes, synthetic food alternatives is a big motif of the season, because you can drink this lab grown blood, and the whole point of you being here is to spread the technology to the illithids, basically to give them bodies that they can take over without killing anyone. So just like lab grown bodies that they can put their tadpoles into. And lab grown brain they can eat instead of living people brain. So that's like just an important recurring idea, is using technology to conquer the obstacles that make normal D&D such a terrifying bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jump in and tell you about my character now. Why not? This season I'm gonna be playing Trizzy, who is a goblin artificer. The way I pitched this character to Austin was, in quotes, oily chaos gremlin. She lives in the walls. She is just a mechanic that scurries around in the walls. She's a perfectionist when it comes to doing her work and keeping the ship running. The way I tried to describe her was that she's been a little too close to an unshielded warp core a couple too many times. She is very, very perfectionist, not very good at delegating. She's just gotta keep her good ship running. That's her pride and joy. She's gonna keep it just how it needs to be.
All right, Goblin Artificer, one of the later additions as far as classes go. You're all at level 3, which means you can
Indeed.
defend yourselves, but you're not stone cold badasses. If we have Saint Cecilia out here stabbing people with a little sword, what kind of stuff do you have combat wise as a level 3 artificer?
Well, as a level 3 artificer, I get to pick what kind of artificer I'm going to be. I'm the kind that has armor. I got a cool little mech suit. It is the infiltrator armor, which basically makes me very good at bouncing around the place. The way I have built my goblin is a little bit ridiculous. The infiltrator armor lets me have advantage on stealth checks, but having heavy armor would make me have disadvantage on stealth checks. So put them both together, I have normal stealth checks and really strong heavy armor and no disadvantage for that. So I got my cool little armor, and I can fire all sorts of cool blasts off my arms.
Awesome. Do you have a background or alignment you want to share at this point? I also don't think we got an alignment for our vampire friend.
Chaotic Good is Trizzy's alignment, and background is a reflavored shipwright. If you look at the shipwright background, I basically took all of the things from that, and where it said an ocean vessel, I said a space vessel, and now that works. So if the ship takes heavy damage, I can scurry around fixing it.
I am Saint Cecilia is a neutral good character. Sorry.
So Cecilia is kind of desperately seeking purpose and direction in life. You said you've lived for a long time and you're just trying to get out there and see stuff. We have Trizzy, who is a greasy little mechanic who loves the engine. What is your specific relationship with the ship? Because I think this is important. You have gone halfway to the end of all creation for this.
Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm going to go into this early on, but Trizzy has a relationship with this ship specifically. She was involved in its initial construction, and events went down, and now when this ship goes on red alert, Trizzy is very aware of that happening, no matter where she happens to be, and the result is, well, look, I don't know exactly what's going on between me and this ship, but I need to be here so I can hear if something's going down, and I've got to keep it safe and protected, because I am a little interconnected with it, and I don't know what's going to happen if this ship has a very bad time. I don't know what that's going to do to me, so I'm going to keep it very safe.
All right. I guess it's my turn. Okay, I am playing a duck, and my duck is named Bill Webb with 2 B's. Bill is an urchin ranger, but does not use magic because Bill is very upset with magic because Bill used to be a regular duck, and then a wizard cursed Bill with relatively human intelligence. And Bill does not like that at all. I believe Bill is part of this Starfleet analog to pass the time because he needs to keep himself busy so that the crushing weight of his new existence does not bother him too much. Also, being in space might get him closer to finding that wizard again and reversing the curse. And that's who I'm playing.
So you are a ranger. Like you said, you're not using any ranger magic. You also have taken some interesting, let's say, efficient choices in leveling up.
Oh, yeah.
So if you took duck language, despite the fact you're probably not going to meet any other ducks in space.
Right. Well, you never know, Austin. We don't know that. The universe is huge.
For example, I wanted to give you a alternate favored terrain because as a ranger, there's a kind of terrain you work best in. And I said, we could give you ships, so you could be, that could be your whole thing. And you're like, no, I'm a duck. I don't know anything about ships.
Right. I do have city secrets, and the ship is my city, so I can go super fast in the ship. So there's that.
You get a little waddle bonus. Yes.
I like the idea this duck just waddles through like cracks and corridors in the ship, and that's how you flavor it.
I'm nearly certain this duck can fly, but all right.
I was picturing it just as like, I know where the turns are. I can really get my waddle on.
Yep. There's all the ins and outs.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that if you wanted to get away from magic because you hate it, in illithid society, magic is strongly disfavored. You basically get kicked out of your hive mind for practicing magic because they favor psionics. It's like a whole cultural thing with them. And
okay.
Mind Flayer culture.
Well, we'll get along great.
Mind Flayer culture is going to be at the center of this season because it's the whole thing you're here for. It's the whole thing you're dealing with. And so we're going to have a lot of time to talk about that.
Okie dokie. By the way, for the people who listen to the show and need to write these things down, the name of the wizard is just one word, and his name is Bonbababi Biblioboo. And that is... That is spelled BONBABBEBIBLIOBOO.
You've done a great job of search engine optimization there. No other results are going to be competing too much.
No.
Leon did not run that by me.
No.
That one.
It's more fun this way.
Yeah, you snuck up with that one held behind your back.
Yeah. By the way, I scrolled up in the Discord chat. I now know exactly what we're doing. It took me like 2 minutes. It's not a big deal.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Yeah, the kind of ranger you are is the basic one in the player's handbook. It's funny you get it a couple of different ways you can attack, and I thought you would prefer the one where I think you attack someone bigger than you because you're a small duck. That made sense. And you're like, no, I want the one if I'm outnumbered, I go ape shit, which is called a horde breaker.
Yeah, horde breaker. Yeah, I'm into that. I think that's cool. I'm into it. And I think Bill is some sort of like security officer anyway, so he's used to like dealing with that kind of thing. I don't know. He has a knife, which I guess he just carries in his mouth.
I do love the mental image of like someone trying to start trouble and security duck in like a vest comes out, just big wings trying to be as scary as possible. Like, I am imposing. Do not back off.
Yeah. Just to clarify, no, I will not be doing some kind of duck voice. I just can't. I refuse. Bill is going to sound exactly like me.
Is the opening image, two aliens on the ship getting into a little tussle. Like, what'd you say, buddy? Yeah, like, want to say it to my face? And then we just see a little duck waddle into the room with a huge butcher knife. And the two aliens back down. They're like, oh, never mind, man. It's fine. It's cool.
Yep. Oh my, I'm looking forward to the fan art.
Yeah, they're going to love Bill Webb. People have been anticipating this for almost a decade at this point. I think it's the first time you said the words Bill Webb into a microphone.
Yeah, it's on.
True neutral, you said, urchin, ranger, duck. I think that's the whole thing. Those are the characters. So
that's the whole kit and caboodle.
All right, Saint Cecilia, vampire rogue, Trizzy, goblin, artificer, Bill Webb, Duck Ranger. So yeah, paint me a picture of where you all on the ship. I think I know you, Bill Webb. You can expand on that idea if you want. But like, what does your daily routine look like on this ship? It's not as like clean and futuristic as like something like Star Trek that has a very like spotless kind of aesthetic. I'm imagining a little dingier. Like this being sent all the way out here isn't like a glamorous kind of thing. This isn't where like the best and the brightest end up. This is kind of a dangerous, unglamorous undertaking here.
I guess Bill would often be at the security. I guess I'm just inventing parts of the ship now. Mm-hmm. The security desk. Let's say that there's a desk called the security desk, and it says, "Do you have a problem?" on it.
But is it like big colorful letters, like a weird silly font or something? But it feels like really aggressive.
No, it's meant to look very aggressive.
Oh, okay.
It's meant to keep people away from Bill.
Oh my God!
Do you have like little angry eyebrows drawn onto it? Like that's why people knows it's mad.
Yeah, Bill is very cute and does not reflect that in personality. Bill is just kind of melancholy.
I think like day to day, Trizzy can be found in there's a room somewhere down in the bowels of the ship that is it's just a hammock strung up between some like very exposed copper piping. And there is a little box next to it that just says repair requests. The unspoken rule is you don't wake Trizzy to say there is a problem. You just put the thing in there and it'll get done. It'll get done. And there is just a bank of various flickering lights nearby. If something starts flashing off into the walls, it's time to scurry.
I do like the idea of you putting the help needed box at the end of a corridor of like unshielded copper pipes near like a warp reactor. Someone has to do the Metal Gear Solid microwave hallway to ask for something from you.
And look, here's the thing: like Trizzy's gonna know there's a problem before anyone else on the ship knows there's a problem. Like the repair request box is a formality. If you have a genuine problem, you'll come down here and deliver it. Otherwise, by the time you get down, I've seen the light flicker, I'm already off. Like, only, like, the weird, obscure stuff I wouldn't have thought to look for, that's the shit that you come tell me about.
Uh-oh. Leon's rolling. Testing on the duck.
I just wanted to. I haven't used this in like 6 years.
Leon, you rolled a 17, which I think means you are definitely a duck. That is correct.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailing it as a duck.
What if you had botched? What would you have been?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm a goose now.
I like to think that Saint Cecilia spends a lot of time. I would like to think that Saint Cecilia spends most of their time on sort of, I guess, whatever the equivalent of the bridge is, handling work there, because that's sort of the most interesting thing to her. But when it is not that time, I don't know if we have like a bar equivalent on this ship, but I'm going to say we do. Because you can't change it after I say it.
Oh yeah, we've got to have like a knockoff Quarks or something.
Yeah.
We've got to have the weird bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead of an Uber capitalist, can I have like an Uber communist at the head of it who doesn't charge for anything?
I love it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I already have the bartender. His name's Andre. He's an incubus.
Hell yeah, I love it. I spend a lot of time there because St. Cecilia is a bit of a social butterfly outside of her time working.
What was the bartender's name, did you say, sorry?
Oh my God, Laura, I love you taking notes. This is so awesome. This is going to be the season where everyone pays attention. I'm horny for it.
Look, I'm making notes purely because I need like some kind of consistency for when I start throwing names out. I gotta know who's who.
Absolutely. Andre is the name of the incubus. So yeah, he is going to be at the bar, St. Cecilia. You're sitting there sipping a blood cocktail of some sort. When you get a psychic message, in fact, all three of you do at the same time, from the captain. You said, "Uh-oh, Leon."
Right away. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's good. I want you to respond. That's a great character building thing. So what is we?
No, that was all Leon, not Bill.
All right. Does Bill Webb have a reaction, or you're like, oh gosh, I have to do stuff? Don't make me do stuff.
Oh, okay. What is the message first?
Yeah. So all of you get this same kind of like tingling sensation of you all being like hooked into the hive mind because the captain of the ship is an elder brain. I will put a picture of the elder brain into the Roll20 for us all to look at. I don't think I've said it this season. We are using Roll20 to roll dice, and that's also where I put pictures so we know who's in the combat order. But true to its name,
Oh, look at that little guy.
an elder brain is literally a giant brain, 20 feet tall sometimes. It is in the command center of the ship, floating in a large vat of like some kind of brain fluid. Just like green goo all around the brain. And if you go out onto the bridge of the ship, you'll just see the captain there floating. I think I said this to you off mic, Quinn, and you said Zordon.
Yes, I want this character as Zordon. He's in a big tube, and he gives us, his Power Rangers, his missions.
What is our brain captain's name?
This is Captain Dumile, Dumile.
Got it.
So elder brains are the last part of the life cycle of an illithid. So there's the little tadpole, the human squid Cthulhu face, and then the big brain. That's like the full larva pupa butterfly of these aliens. But elder brains' main function is that they psionically link an entire hive mind together so that the illithids can act as one. What you all can do on the ship is a way to like talk to each other, but it's completely optional. Part of the cultural exchange going on here is where normally mind flayers are very coercive in their brain stuff. This is like basically a radio, and you can all do it when you want to. So you can turn off Dumile if you don't want to listen to him, but he talks to all of you and says,
"Attention, bridge team! There's a problem with our satellite dishes. Can I get you to go and check?"
Yes, but only if you really channel Bryan Cranston playing Zordon in the remake movie energy, where he was really angry all the time.
Austin, I have one world-building question for you. If we, like, mentally hang up on Dumile, does Dumile know that we've done it? Like, can that be a dramatic, like, oh, I'm done with this, slam down the hive mind connection?
Yes, absolutely. You would be hanging up the line, and he would know. So that's on the table.
Okay, then. So we respond in like telepathy as well, or is it just one way?
It is two ways. Yeah, once you are connected to the hive mind, everyone is in the same chat together, essentially.
Okay.
Oh God, this is our Slack.
All right. Bill says, "Well, I guess being over there is just as good as being here." So. Fine, I agree to follow your orders.
Do we know if it's an internal or external fault?
Captain Dumile, I've decided first name Slack. Captain Slack Dumile says,
"It appears that the dish is on the outside of the Rezubian. Please check it manually."
Right. I guess we need like a spacesuit.
That's a great question. So the way that space works in Spelljammer is that there is a spell which lets you breathe in space for a short time. So if you are vented or airlocked into the inky blackness, you do not die immediately. You will survive for a moment. Basically, everyone's clothing is equipped with that spell for a period. Eventually, the spell will run out and you will asphyxiate. But you can make a short spacewalk, no problem.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. In that case, I go to the problem.
Yeah, let's go. Go.
Yeah, let's do
go. Go.
Cecilia, you get up from the bar. If you finish your drink and start walking, Bill Webb, you do plap, plap, plap with your little feet away from the security desk. And Trizzy, you just jump into a vent and disappear. Eventually, you all meet up in the hangar bay. I will say this is a cavernous room. It's huge.
I want to say Trizzy has been there considerably before either of the other two, and is just bouncing, ready to go.
Yeah, you took a secret vent that got you there very quickly, and then you turn around and somehow Bill Webb is just there because of the city secrets background.
Yeah. Oh no, I like to think that Trizzy has fully given Bill 100% permission to just go through the vents. As long as you're not messing anything up, small folk got to stick together.
I know all those city secrets.
Yeah.
Can't mess anything up.
Yeah.
When everyone arrives, Bill says, "I don't know why this is a security matter, but I am here."
Yes, I am not sure why I'm here either, but it's a good time. We get to do a spacewalk, and that's always pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean, if it's the satellites that have gone down, then any kind of ship could be coming. We'd have no idea about it. That seems like a security concern to me. I feel like probably right, little bit.
Maybe everything is a security concern.
Exactly. On the grand scheme of things, safety is security, and everything is safety.
Bill sighs deeply and says, "Okay."
Captain Dumille is still in the chat and says,
"It's protocol that the engineer must be accompanied by a security escort and a communications officer to alleviate any potential conflicts with alien species."
Though it all makes sense now, thank you for explaining. You sound wonderful today, Dumille. I appreciate you, thank you.
"I forgot to read the manual, Captain. And by forgot, I purposefully did not do it."
That's fine. I can probably fix this. Just if anything needs beating up or talking to, that's not my department. I can do it. It's not for me.
Okay.
So the hangar that you're in is cavernous. The walls are, several stories high, and the ceiling above you is you would need more than a ladder to get up there because there are several ships here that you can use to leave the Rezubian, which is the name of the bigger ship that you're in, the generation class ship. There are, in fact, 3 smaller ships here. They are an octopus, a squid, and a nautiloid. 3 classic Spelljammer ships of various sizes, which can be used to deploy to the surface of a planet or to a dog fight in space. But those are the 3 that are here in the hangar. You don't have 500 TIE fighters or something. This is a mission of peace. You can defend yourself, but you're not trying to conquer anyone.
They're the runabouts on Star Trek?
Yeah, basically. So they're...
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I actually looked up how many people are in the Enterprise in Star Trek, and it's roughly that. There are people with their families, and there's probably teachers and stuff. It's a whole ecosystem in here. That's the Rezubian, the big ship. But then there are just these 3 smaller ships which have crew sizes from 10 to 50. So they can get out there, they can fight if necessary. But that's not really your department. That's the away team.
Okay.
You are the home team, and so at the end of the hangar, there's a big blast door that opens up, and magic keeps all the air from rushing out and sucking everyone in the ships into space, and then you can start your spacewalk. I think we are about to do our first rolls of the season. That's exciting.
What do we need to roll?
What am I rolling for?
That's great. What do you think is the best thing to walk out onto the surface of the ship?
Is that a dexterity thing, or?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Acrobatics is dexterity, so something trying to do a flip to put your boots onto the hull.
Oh, I have +7 acrobatics.
I think the flavor for Trizzy here is going to be excitably leaving the airlock and not just leaping out into the void of space entirely. Remembering to slowly step out onto the outside of the ship.
I crit rolled it. I put on my boots so hard.
Yeah.
14, it's good. It's not a critical fail. I didn't just launch myself into the void. That's all I really needed.
I mean, 14, 22 and crit. The crit is a 27. I can't imagine a better start. That's literally the first roll of the season is a crit. That's a great omen. You all do this flawlessly. Why don't you describe to me what this looks like, and also like the ship itself? I have left a lot of space here for you to tell me what the Rezubian looks like. It is not an existing Spelljammer class of ship, so you can kind of walk me through that and how it looks like you walking across the surface to go check the satellites that are suddenly not working and not receiving any broadcasts.
Oh, can it look like Vanillish, the ice cream Pokemon that everyone hates?
I like Vanillish. It's a good
Vanillish
Pokemon.
is alright.
Yeah, but like everyone's like, why does it look like an ice cream cone? It's dumb.
Because it's a yokai. In Japanese mythology, mundane items get possessed by spirits. That's why there's keys. That's why
I agree.
Yeah, Generation
just
1
saying.
had a Pokemon that was literally just a seal, and it was called Seal. Like,
All right, yeah. You want the Rezubian to be conical, is what you're saying?
I just looked it up because I don't know anything about Pokemon. I'm okay with this appearance.
There you go. Got the blessing from Leon. That's all he needs.
and he explains why the end where the fire's coming out is it's a little small down that end. You got to get real scrungly in there.
You gotta get scrungly.
I think flavor-wise for heading out of the airlock onto the outside of the ship, Trizzy is just, like, scuttling very quickly to the exit, stops, takes one very careful step to be outside and be secured, and then back to scuttling real quick.
Can I, because I got a 22, do like a handstand cartwheel outside onto the ship?
I am flying perfectly. It's just a wonderful like leap into the air.
Yeah, there's no wind in the vacuum of space. I was thinking, are your wings actually useful? But I guess you could control the pitch and yaw of your body, if that makes sense. So you're going perfectly. So because you crit, I'm gonna give you a pretty straight shot to there's like some a cluster of dishes up here. You can see them, and they appear to be surrounded by some objects. They are like crusty globes all around them. There's like a bunch of them. I'd say like 3 that are not supposed to be there. They're
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Bill know how to do this? Is what I'm wondering.
With a crit, yes.
Okay, no, I mean, okay. I just thought that was me getting there, but what I'm saying is Bill understands how space works, like how space technology works. Okay,
I would love the idea that you've been on this ship for years and you're still just like,
well,
what is that out there?
Bill has only had human level intelligence for, I want to say, a few years.
Okay, so he understands it's not just nighttime out there.
No, he gets it. I just wanted to double check.
All right, so you see the satellite array up ahead, and there are some strange objects. What do you do?
Can I do a perception check to try to identify, or an investigation to figure out what these strange objects are?
That's gonna be a nature check to get the information.
Ooh.
You already see them, so.
Okay.
Can I join in on this roll?
Absolutely. I rolled a 21.
I rolled a 20.
My nature is +2, so 14.
21 and 20 pass perfectly. I'll give this the highest score. Cecilia, you recognize these objects as jammer leeches, which is to say they are a life form that feeds on the energy of spell jamming ships, and they have kind of nestled into the surface of the Rezubian and are sucking up some of the energy that it produces. And these like crusty globes or something are kind of their hard outer body. And with the 21, inside they have a soft squishy center, but also a dangerous part of them that can lash out at you like a bivalve opening up.
Is this a somewhat regular occurrence, or is this like a rare thing for this to happen to our ship?
This is like getting barnacles on a boat. Okay. I would say fairly common and not a huge deal if it's dealt with.
All right. Is there any kind of protocol when it comes to how to deal with it, or are they just like, get them off?
Yeah, get them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do these creatures have any kind of like sentience, or are they just like there's little nommy boys?
With a 21, I'm just going to tell you they are about as intelligent as an earth barnacle.
Okay. Well, I guess the easiest way is just to try to beat them up, I guess.
All right, sounds like you're rolling initiative.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, already a fight. I love this tutorial mission.
Thank you, Leon. I worked on it hard for you special.
It's excellent. All right. My initiative is +5.
I got an 8 for initiative.
I got a 6.
All right, Bill Webb is up first. It's very funny that the fucking barnacles beat most of the group, and they have a -5 multiplier because they are literally fused to the ground.
I would argue they're already on the satellite, and that
That's
means
true.
that they go first. They're there already.
All right, Bill Webb, you're up first. There are 3 leeches attached to the array. What do you do?
Okay. I guess if we're fighting, Bill takes out his knife and swings it at him. So just to double check, I haven't fought someone in 7 years. What do I roll for that?
All right, I'm pulling up your sheet.
Yeah.
To attack, you roll d20 +7, and if you hit, you roll d8 +7.
Oh, there's my attack. Okay, attack bonus. Got it. Okie dokie. All right. I got a 13.
That hits.
Okay, so then that is my damage right there. So I will roll this dealy. I got an 8.
All right, not that much. So Bill Webb runs up with a big knife in his beak and just starts stabbing at the hard outer shell of the leeches, which doesn't do much damage. You rolled minimum on that die, the lowest possible. So you just scratch up the outer shell, and it is now Leech's turn. The one you're stabbing has a opening, kind of like the whole body of the thing splits open, and a fleshy pseudopod strikes out. It is tipped with a sharp point like a dagger.
Cool. Bring it on.
All right. 13.
All right, my armor class is 16.
All right, that does not hit. So
Nailed it.
What does that look like? Is it just your flight suit is stab proof, or do you have some kind of a technique? What's going on there?
I'm going to say I deflect it with my knife.
All right, yeah. So this basically flesh arm comes out of the inside of the pod and tries to stab you with a spine, and you just parry it effortlessly. The rest of the party hasn't made it to the leeches yet, so actually the other pods open up and strike at you from other angles. All 3 of them are attacking you. You're first through the breach. 17 and 17.
I misunderstood exactly where we were, but that's okay. I've sorted it out in my brain now.
All right. 4 damage as you take a couple of slashes. All of the leeches are striking at Bill Webb.
Oh, okay.
All
right. So I have. All right. Let me turn my hit points down. That's okay. All right. Got it. Nailed it. Okay. I'm in it now.
All right, Saint Cecilia, your turn. You see Bill Webb knife fighting 3 jammer leeches.
Well, you said that I wasn't there yet, but what you really meant was that I was sneaking up there undetected, and I'm gonna get behind that first barnacle that Bill Webb already attacked, and I'm gonna have an ally adjacent to it as a rogue. So that means I'm going to get advantage. Means I get to roll twice and use the higher number when I attack. So I rolled a 16 for the first one.
16 hits.
Hot dog, which means I get to roll my regular damage plus what a rogue gets is sneak attack damage. So a little extra nugs this guy's going to take. So they're going to take 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 3. Oops, I forgot to hit the roll in front of it. My bad. 11 damage.
All right, that's the first kill of the season. Why don't you paint me a picture of how this looks?
I like to think that Bill is just unfairly being surrounded by these things, and then there's just a small sound as I pry, I put my little I think I have short swords that I'm going to stick in to where they're latching onto the ship and just fry one off and it just goes floating into space.
All right. So that one is just lost into the vacuum. Do you have any like specifically technological weapons? Is it like anything fancy, or are they just normal short swords?
Rapier, sorry, is what I have because I forgot I modeled her off of Lady Maria from Bloodborne. I like to think that it looks like a normal sword, but probably has like a sci-fi kind of glow to it. Like maybe like a red glow or something like that. And you're like, oh, it's probably like a laser sword, but it looks like a real sword or something like that.
I mean, if you're trying to do Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower, I mean, it's just blood is splashing out with every stroke.
I didn't say there wasn't blood, Austin. You can paint this picture too with me. I pry it off. Blood goes everywhere as it floats to its death in space.
It's simply the coolest character in the history of video games. Only appears in a DLC. Laura.
Trizzy is going to power up her armor and use lightning launcher. So going to take aim at one of those jammer leeches. 22.
That definitely hits.
So that's 6 damage. Plus, once per turn, if I hit successfully with the lightning launcher, I can do an extra 1d6 damage to that target. That's another 2 damage, 8 total.
All right, so you're wearing this huge, bulky armor that normally a goblin couldn't wield, but you have some kind of technological affinity, which makes it light, just like feather light for you. And it has just like repulsor blasters on it. Is that what we're doing?
Basically, yeah. Like the flavor that I have in my head is that no one has thought to put hydraulics inside of heavy armor before, and like suddenly Trizzy's just running around like, yeah, this is surprisingly easy to do, and has. Yeah, just some sort of hand blasters going on that she's using to fire a couple of quick zaps out of one of her hands.
All right. We're back to Bill Webb. You see Trizzy zap one of the leeches.
Okay, but 2 of the leeches are still alive?
Correct.
Okay, well, can I use my Horde Breaker power to hit both of them?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I will do that. Okay. I'll roll that. Okay. That's my +7 thing. Oh shit! I critical hit it.
Luck of the devil.
That's my second crit of the game. I crit hit this thing, so I guess. Oh, so it's like double of whatever it is, right?
You fuck with the duck, its dick you must suck.
Oh my god.
Well,
no, don't do that, Austin. They're corkscrew shaped.
Oh my god. This duck is a maniac.
Okay, so that's my damage. It's 12, so it's really 24.
Yeah, you fucking murk one of them. Holy shit.
Okay. All right. Oh, cool. I can just press up and then I go right back to the thing. And roll 20. Okay, so I hit the other one and I also hit 20.
Holy shit.
Okay, so this is my damage, 13.
All right, so yeah, let me think here. So if you put the crit damage on the uninjured one and the 13 on the one Trizzy zapped, you'd kill both.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's assume that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, why don't you paint me the picture of you fucking Jason Voorheesing these things?
It's more like a tornado. It just starts. Bill just starts spinning around wildly, feathers flapping everywhere, and just knocking into these guys real hard, and one of them harder than the other. And then they are goo, I guess.
All right, you turn them into pulp and goo, and the battle is won.
Cool.
Sweet campaign, Austin. Thank you. That was fun.
And the ship goes on its diplomatic mission, saves all of illithid culture, and the world is all better. You win.
This is fucking awesome.
Oh, yay! I knew we were good at D&D.
Yeah, we speedrun glitched through it, so that's pretty good.
We were actually, this was supposed to be a scripted loss encounter. We were never supposed to beat the barnacles.
Yeah.
Cheat code for anyone playing D&D. If you can get your DM to say the words and you win the campaign, you've won. It doesn't matter what else was going on. You get the words out of them, you did it.
I I would like to report back to Tamil, be like, it was just some of those little like barnacle slugs, and they're gone now. They're in space, and some of them are ghoul.
Yes, I'm seeing energy output efficiency has risen from 97 to 98.6. Good job.
Trizzy is over at the satellites, just making sure no damage was done that needs to be repaired.
Absolutely. In fact, can I get an investigation check from you?
Yeah, that's 16.
That's very good. I was looking for 15. So an interesting thing is you look over the satellites and it doesn't appear they are damaged in any way, which is weird because something was wrong with them. But they don't appear to have been interfered with. It seems like the leeches were draining power from the ship, but just a tiny, tiny bit for the ship's size compared to their body. And they didn't damage these satellites, but the ship still isn't getting any broadcasts. That's very strange.
Okay, so them being gone hasn't fixed the problem, even if there is no visible external damage.
Correct.
Okay. Is this a thing where, like, do jammer leeches regularly build up on the outside of the ship? Like, is this a thing where we would expect, like, those two events to be connected, or have we jumped the gun here a little bit and there could be some other cause? Yeah.
That's a great question. Jammer leeches are pretty common, and they can cause, damage if left unattended. But it doesn't seem like that's what happened here. Something else is wrong with the satellite. With the 16, I'm telling you that they did not damage it, and it doesn't appear damaged. So something else is going on. The mystery is deepened.
Can we do a perception check to see if we see anything else in this area that seems off?
Sure.
All right. I have plus 2 to that.
I rolled a 20.
Jesus.
It's a 20 plus, yeah. So,
Yeah.
This duck is on a fucking mission.
For those
He
of
is
you
like-
D&D, this is definitely representative of the roles you'll see. Like multiple times in a row, characters getting critical successes, perfect wins. I got an 18 and Quinn got a 20, but that's fucking throw those out the window. Garbage numbers.
This duck was like, slugs are dead. What's up? Not done mission? All right, what's fine now?
What does Bill perceive?
All right, so the result of this incredible roll is you look around on the surface of the hull. You do not see anything else. What the satellite array is actually in perfect working order, which means you are not getting broadcasts for some other reason. The problem must be something else, and then I will leave the floor open for you all to discuss this in character. Because the first episode is really about you all establishing a rapport more than anything else.
Let's go back inside and check the other things. You're our engineer. Maybe there's something you can do with a wrench.
I mean, probably. There is probably something I can do. There's always something I can do with a wrench, but I am gonna very quickly before we do. Captain DeMille.
Yes.
Quick question. Are there any other faults in any other systems right now?
I'm not detecting any other abnormalities, Engineer Trizzy.
Okay, so this isn't, okay, it's not like cascading from something else. And are all crew accounted for?
Oh, fuck, that's a good question, Laura. You strike to the heart of me. How have you done this?
It's the power of taking vague notes. My attention is focused. I'm on it.
We're all fueled by the multiple crits.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to ask, but this is a Dan special if you listen to the last season where Dan just blurts out the twist halfway through. So Captain DeMille does a quick head count. Things are beeping throughout the ship. The systems are like whirring, and then the census comes back and says,
Engineer Trizzy, we are detecting one missing crew member.
Who is missing? This seems important.
It appears that Render, the illithid, is not accounted for.
Well,
Oh, shit.
Crew? I guess I know something I can go fix with a wrench now.
Got my knife.
Are we going to fix the missing person with wrench?
Yes, I find that a lot of people who have caused problems can be solved with a wrench.
Captain, I crit 3 times.
Oh my god.
Very good, Security Officer Webb. I will put that note in your file.
Okay, then. All right. Okay. Bill kind of like motions towards his knife and is like, I'll come too.
Yes, I would like to see how this ends. This has kind of become my entertainment for the evening, I feel like.
Fair enough. Let's go. And, well, I guess we should go at the same speed and arrive at the same time instead of me using City Seekers to get there first, because this might be a fight.
Well, I mean, look, Trizzy's gonna be sprinting as fast as possible anyway, because there's work to be done. So, like,
Okay.
it could just be the two of us run off
Okay.
quickly through the holes and just leave our not so tiny friend behind.
That seems like a bad idea, but all right.
It does.
I mean,
Come on, hurry up. Vampire, move
right.
faster, get through smaller holes.
Okay.
It's funny because Saint Sia would definitely be kind of like, not leisurely, like if you're keeping a pace, she's trying to keep up with it, but she is also going to be like, I was really impressed by like little tornado butchery death move you did. That was very impressive. Like nice flourish to that. I like that. Where did you come up with that?
I learned it back when I was a regular duck, to ward off predators, because that's just a thing that happens when you're a duck.
Did you always have the knife when you did that, or is that like new elementary?
No, regular ducks don't know how to use tools. We're all blissfully ignorant, which is what I would like to be again one day.
I can understand that. That does seem like kind of like luxurious lifestyle when you get down to it.
Oh yeah, yes.
The offer still remains to just like hit you really hard in the head with the wrench and see whether that does it and gets you back there.
I feel like the risk is too great. I'm going to stick with my.
If we find a scientist that knows like very specifically where to hit someone on the head to put them back to blissful ignorance, I'll let you know. You'll be first to hear.
Thank you. Right now, my plan is definitely to find Bon Baba Bee Bibliaboo.
Gesundheit.
I have to point out, I feel like that name would sound great coming out of a duck. Like, I feel like a duck would have a very fun time trying to say that.
Absolutely.
Austin, so this person's missing. Are we kind of trying to guess on where we might find a lead?
Yeah, like if we know like the name of this person, do you know where their station is? One would assume.
That's a great question. So 2 things. One is navigating the ship. You know where everything is, basically, but there are knowledge rolls to do better, and we will do that in a moment. The other is, I wasn't expecting you to get this far already. So
We nailed it.
yeah, you really crushed it. Can I get history rolls to know where this person should be?
Yeah.
History. Okay, I have nothing for history, so it's just like a regular D20 for me.
16.
6. Oh, I had a bad roll now.
16 as well. Once again, I've rolled exactly the same number as Quinn.
We're on that same wavelength. When Bill's like, look, I'm not critting this. I can't put my whole crit-ussy into this one as well. We're like, hey, let us be the wings beneath your wings.
Did you say wings beneath my wings?
Don't ever correct me, Austin, ever again.
Bill Webb has a dragonfly situation going. Just a bunch of sets of wings. 16 and 16 passes. You know that this missing person, Render, works in the PR department of the Rezubian, which is to say, making material and stuff to pass out in illithid cultures to say like, hey, we have an alternative for you. You don't have to eat brains anymore. There is kind of, a conflict within illithid society. In fact, this is a great point to mention that the terms illithid and mind flayer, which are used relatively interchangeably in normal D&D, have taken on a kind of charged context in this universe, which is to say, people say mind flayer with disdain. That's like what you're flaying minds. You're like, you're a monster. This is like you are signaling that you think that these people are, monsters and disgusting. Where illithid, the more like proper clinical term, is kind of signaling that you think they are people, like elves and dwarves and orcs. They're all just people. But then the same thing has kind of caused a backlash in illithid culture, where people who don't like non-mind flayers were like, oh no, I'm not an illithid, I'm a mind flayer. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna eat your brains. It's kind of a cultural backlash where those two terms have become kind of charged. So that's something like the PR department on the Rezubian would deal with.
Would we have any kind of idea? Like, I assume we've had some interaction before with Render. Could I get like any kind of general idea as to like what their temperament's kind of like?
Yeah, like what's his deal?
Yeah, with 16s, I will tell you that Render has a pretty traditional story, which is that they want to be friends with non-illithids. They are open to the possibilities of interspecies cooperation, but they come from a, conservative colony where people are like, no, we eat brains. That's what we do. That's our identity. It's delicious and it's cool. And taking, brain alternatives is for, cowards and pussies. Like they're just not into it. It's that they left their home to join the Rezubian because they want to further cooperation.
It's like going home at Christmas and explaining to your family that you're vegan now, and having just the big circle of, what do you expect us to do about that at Christmas dinner?
Yeah, I didn't want to make it one-to-one with vegetarianism, but obviously there are some applicabilities there where it's like, it's not enough that you want to make those choices for your life. Other people see it as like an infringement and an attack on them.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge, I can't speak for everyone else, but I would be going into this under the assumption of like, I'm not expecting necessarily something nefarious to be going on or something like that. Like this could just be a missing person right now.
Yeah, as much as like before this conversation, I was joking about hitting Render with a wrench. I think that Trizzy's probably going into this with Render has been kidnapped or something on the ship, rather than Render is off doing something nefarious.
Austin, can we call the organization just like Smartfleet? Because I'm going to call it Starfleet like 100 times. And if it's something
I just
similar...
realized we're like an hour into this and we forgot to actually officially name whatever company we're part of.
Look, this would not be the first Dice Funk season where we've just changed like one letter of a thing and that's what it's called now. Like, I think it was last season or the season before we had Schmorida for Fantasy Florida.
The season is called Rezubian because the ship you're on is the setting. What organization deployed the ship is less important. We can give it a name. Before we started the thing, I said it could be just like, the ambassadorial arm of a government or a corporation or anything else. And we threw out some names. But
Can it be the Solitaire, and then I can get like a portion of the $21 you're promised in the credits?
I mean, that's a really inside baseball for long-term fans, but I don't know that it's going to come up all that much. So I was just thinking that, if like in the last space season, we had a company that built spaceships, and they were called Dagger Milk. So this could be like the DM Rezubian, and that's all that ever comes of it. That's what I would do if I was writing this as a novel, but...
Okay.
Sounds good to me. I'm still probably going to call them Starfleet a couple times, though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
At the very least, call them Space Fleet.
Yeah.
I liked my idea, the Velvet Foxes.
You did throw that out there before recording in a move some have called jarring. Is that like a charity? What is that? Is it a government?
I just like the name, like the idea that they created some sort of like spacefaring adventure squad, and then someone said, "What should we call ourselves?" And someone said, "The Velvet Foxes," and nobody disagreed.
I mean, I'm happy for us to be the Velvet Foxes. I have no problem with this.
Okay,
I don't have any problem with the name necessarily. It makes me think of Fleet Foxes. This is the cool sequel to that band. But the question is for me, what is it? Is it a military organization? Or you would?
I assume that since we're on a diplomatic mission, this is like the diplomatic corps. But I don't know. That makes sense to me. I don't know.
The way I'd sort of imagined this, and like, feel free to step in if this doesn't sound good, but like. Mm-hmm. I was sort of picturing that if we're a group of people from various planets and backgrounds trying to do diplomacy for something as important as trying to broker peace with the illithids. I pictured as being like a diplomatic arm of some sort of, I guess like a galactic council of some kind, some sort of body that is like, there are representatives from lots of different planets that have come together to basically be like, hey, if there's something important that like we all should probably be trying to help with, we've got people that are one sort of group. And that we've been sent by that sort of, like, the collection of planets.
The reason I have the captain as a illithid is because, it's important for them to be part, like, the head of the coalition, so it doesn't seem like you're just here imposing your soul system values on people who don't want it. You know, I would imagine, if anything, this is an illithid-headed organization.
I like that. So this is, like, the illithids have reached out and gone, hey, we want a bunch of people from various planets to come help us make this happen. And that we've signed up for a group like that.
And so, this is how this happened, is that, a group of elder brains from the far realm got together, created a council for peace, and then sent out a message to the Sol system, where Earth is, and said, like, hey, can you send some ambassadors on a goodwill mission? And they're like, sure, what should we call it? And they're like, I don't know, just whatever the coolest name is in your language. You know, it doesn't translate. We don't know what sounds good to you. And the Earth people were like, the Velvet Foxes.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
It's like, that sounds tight to us.
Okay.
It's like you see in an anime where someone's wearing a jacket that says something in English, and you're like, that's not grammatically correct.
Yeah.
It says something like, eat death.
That's exactly the energy of this. So you have this big vanilla-ish shaped ship, and on the side it says Rezubian, and then under that it's like Velvet Foxes in deep speech, which is just like a really arcane, fucked up looking scripts, like something out of Lovecraft. And you're like, oh yeah, that looks awesome and cool, but it just looks like it's gibberish if you can read it.
I think that sounds fine by me.
Okay, so I apologize for bringing it up. I forget where we were at.
No, it's okay. We were wondering whether or not the person was kidnapped or they are the bad guy.
That's a great question. So you all like spacewalk back into the hangar and are going to go make your way to the PR office. There are just a couple of people in there making flyers and literature to distribute throughout the far realm. And, on your way there, this is what time for more in-character conversation during the transit.
So how's everyone's day been going? Did anyone do anything fun?
Well, I checked the repairs that need doing box, and oh my goodness, you are not going to believe this. Emma put another repair note in there saying that, oh, my room's too cold. The air conditioning's probably broken. I've gone and checked like 8 times. The temperature is the exact same as it was yesterday. I don't know what you think is happening, but it is not any problem of mine. That's how my day's going. How about yours?
Emma can kind of be a problem. Like, I think she means well, but, she does sometimes put out a little bit. She needs attention, and, sometimes it's just how she gets it. So maybe in her way, she's just trying to connect with you. Have you thought about it?
I mean, I've thought about it. But you know what would be a better way of connecting with me is coming and saying hello, rather than coming and being like, hey, come and look at my room again. It's definitely cold. Why won't you believe me that it's cold? Because I brought a thermometer. That's why I won't believe you it's cold.
She keeps inviting you to her room. Maybe there's something more to it.
I mean, that... See, if she was trying to invite me up there for those reasons, I would assume she would tell me her room was too hot, and then I'd go up there and she wouldn't be wearing as many clothes, and that would make sense. She's telling me it's cold and she's very wrapped up. It is confusing signals.
Emma is a confusing person.
Now I have to write down Emma, parentheses, giant space worm, so I get to decide what she is.
Thank you for telling me what she is, so I can make a note of it.
Laura and I are going to be doing this all season, just sabotaging each other.
It's great.
Oh yeah, well my guy's named Jeff, and he's made out of swords. Shut up.
Writing it down.
And were you blessed with an undisturbed day today, Mr. Webb?
I mean,
oh, sorry,
Lieutenant
Webb.
Yeah, up until this point, it was mostly me sitting at the desk. It says, "Do you have a problem?" And for some reason, people find that strange, so they just kind of side eye me and walk by, which works for me.
Okay, I wanted to make clear, you really don't want people to bother you, right?
That is my hope. Humans and human-like creatures, even at this point, still seem very strange to me.
Oh, they are very, very strange. I've met quite a lot of them.
So do you not identify as a human? Were you a human before you were turned into a vampire? This is a great question. This is a universe in which an elf can become a vampire. Vampire doesn't necessarily mean human.
I like to think that vampire in this universe has such a connotation because she was born a vampire. So in her mind, what previous race she was is irrelevant. And it's just like, no, like it's a vampire, you know, I was born with the cuspids right out the gate, the fangs. So like, that's just how like you think about it.
All right, so you just think of yourself as a vampire, but you're physically otherwise human? Like you don't have
I think
cool
so.
ears or anything?
I mean, I have pretty cool ears. It's just they're not like a different race ears, you know. They're very nice. They're round.
Like talking shit about my ears? What's going on?
Yeah, very, very kissable. What do you have a problem with my ears, Austin? Now I'm self-conscious.
I also like during this walk back through the hangar, Bill Webb covered in leech goo, just a knife dripping viscera.
Well, they shouldn't have gotten in my whirlwind.
Yeah, Emma, the giant space worm, is the janitor. She's following behind you, sweeping up after you. Big mop.
Oh, okay.
Can I do an insight check on Emma? Do I notice Emma's maybe like giving any kind of eyes towards?
Every space season has the insight roll for interspecies love, so let's just get it out of the way.
Okay. I roll a 13.
13's not good enough to detect that. Her face is hard to read on account of all of the feathers.
She's a worm with feathers.
Oh goodness. As we're moving through the corridor, Trizzy is going to head over to Emma and just very briefly hand over a thermometer and go, You are welcome to put a repair request in the box, but please check the thermometer first. Like, check the number, and don't put a repair request in there telling me the thermometer is broken. If the thermometer says the number's flat, we're good. We're good.
Emma takes the thermometer with a tentacle.
So it's a feathered worm with tentacles? All right, I love this.
Try me again. I'll add another detail.
Don't worry, Austin. I'm gonna add some details. It's gonna happen.
This is our class project. We're playing Exquisite Corpse with Emma every time one of us adds something new.
I was playing, what was it, Clank Legacy recently, a board game that has a card on it that is blank, the helpful NPC, and every time someone buys that card and adds it to their deck during a game, you get to add a detail to the NPC. This is that vibe, and I love it very much.
I ruined a friendship with that game because I stole the last boat that I didn't need right at the end and killed someone so he didn't get any points. And it was just the pure most dickish move I could have done. I already had a boat. I just grabbed a second one to essentially burn it to the ground. I think I'm a bad person, Austin.
All right. Anything else?
In this setting, you can blame anything bad you do on your character. It's fine.
Oh, perfect. I would like to note that Cece is kind of mentally making a note, like, chat up Emma next time we're at the bar, because I think there's something there.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see something in her 16 eyes that tells you that she's into you?
Yeah, I think she has feelings for them, but I don't know yet.
Can I roll insight to find out whether or not Emma is mad about all the viscera I have created?
Emma loves cleaning. She has a lightsaber mop. It's very cool to use.
Oh, okay.
Does sound awesome.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it.
sick.
I'm getting ready to have just an entire page of my notebook that's just Emma.
The Emma Project.
Like to politely knock on the door? Or is this like Star Trek where the door's just like shoosh open and there's secretly two people on either side of it opening it?
Oh, that's a great question. Do we want shoosh or do we want regular?
I would really like a shoosh, but maybe I don't know if this is a shoosh door that is locked, like private quarters or not.
I bet they have settings. You could set the door to shoosh.
I like shoosh, but I want to verbally say like knock knock.
Okay, so when we walk up to the door, does it shoosh or do we have to like ask them to let me in?
I think when Cecilia says knock knock, it opens. It is set to open. It's just set to shoosh at that point.
Got it.
Yeah, and the door opens to reveal a small office. There are a bunch of printers and copiers in here where flyers are being made. You only see one person working. It's not like a huge department. So there's one human woman in here. She is kind of in her late 20s maybe. She's wearing a lot of like illithid merch. She has like a shirt with a like chibi mind flare tadpole on it. She's wearing like she has like purple hair done up to look like tentacles or something. She looks like someone who's like really excited to be working on this.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Just another day at the office. I got a whole new campaign here. Do you think I should have Velvet Fox's initiative so big? No one knows what that means. Can I just put it in the corner?
I think the fact that it's so mysterious is what makes it so intriguing. But unfortunately, I do have to ask, are you all alone all today in the office?
She looks around as if to say, like, what do you mean? And then she says, yeah, it's just me here. I think Render must be sick or something.
Oh yeah, so they did not come in today?
Nope, it's fine. I didn't really have all that much here. I'm just resizing these, and she shows you like a leaflet series, which has just different pictures of the artificially created bodies that you can get from the Rezubian.
Oh, thank you. May I roll an insight to just make sure she's not lying that Render hasn't been here today?
Yep.
I rolled a 4, which would give me a 7. However, I do have a feature with my rogue archetype where if I ever make an insight check to determine if a creature is lying, I treat a roll of 7 or lower as an 8. So I have an 11, actually.
All right, 11's good. Yep, you think she's telling the truth. She just seems like she's working. So Render didn't come in today. She seems focused on her work, which she seems to genuinely love.
Yeah.
Bill, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, all right, I was just going to say, Bill says, where is Render's workstation?
She points you to a desk that is covered in like pins. It has like a little metal pins that you can wear on your bag or your jacket or whatever, which have different kawaii illithid faces.
Okay, can I roll an investigation on this workstation?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna investigate the crap out of it. 12. Well,
yeah, just slightly above average. I will say that you see. Just pens and paper and pencils and rulers, just arts and crafts stuff for what they're making here. There's not anything particularly suspicious. If anything, you can find where Render's sleeping quarters are. Let's just say like there's like, some kind of key card or something with the number on it. So you can find where that is. I
take the key card. I'm taking it.
All right. Yeah. So that's what you got here. You can go look in that place if you would like. But this person here, I didn't give her a name. This is Dot the human. She has pink and purple nails. They're supposed to evoke illithid.
Your nails are gorgeous, by the way. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I want you to do mine sometime.
Absolutely. Can I? What else you got going on here? You looks like you could use a whole fresh dew. Do you want something a little squiddier?
I can't. No, I don't think I can go with squiddier. I need really to kind of embrace kind of gothic darkness vibe at all times. It's not really where my core is, but it's kind of like an ambiance part and parcel, kind of deal. So like maybe like ribbons, but like ribbons that look like blood.
Oh, blood ribbons is great. I mean, I think Gothic is really in the Far Realms right now. There's a whole spiked pauldron craze that's going on. So if you get anything sharp on your shoulders, they love that.
So like any kind of like spike on pauldron, does it need to be like stud, or like you could actually kill somebody?
I think the bigger the better, but if you're not ready to commit to that, because they're heavy, right? A metal spike's heavy, so you don't have to go fully. You gotta, you could start small maybe and work your way up.
So I just want to say for flavor, this conversation's been going on long enough that Trizzy is like, has gone into the wall, climbed up a little bit, and is like looking at the conversation from like a panel out of the wall up on the side now. It's just
Okay.
like, just like, this is a little too long in a brightly lit, quiet room. I'm just gonna like, I'm here, I'm having the conversation, I'm just in the wall a little bit.
And to make it clear, CC is intentionally kind of engaged in this conversation to make sure everyone else has like a chance to like do their work if need be. So like nobody should hopefully have seen Bill Webb over at the station or anything like that.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't seem like trained in counterintelligence or anything. I think you all have pretty good command of this scene. She seems to be, a pretty earnest person.
In my notes, I under dot I wrote the Iliad weeaboo.
Absolutely, that's 100%.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came across.
All right. I just had a thought. Can I don't know all the details of what the ship can do. Can we scan? I don't know how to put this. Can we scan an area for life forms? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think survival check is the closest to that, because we do want to still be something you have to try and can possibly fail at, but that would be like reading the system or something. Okay,
what I'm trying to do is I have the key card, so I know where this person lives or whatever. So I would like to scan that area to see if they are home.
Absolutely. Roll me survival, Bill Webb.
I tried to get there, and then the Windows thing happened. Okay. Crit.
Fuck me running. We've never had four.
There was a point in this where I was like, I'm just going to check that like this is rolling D20 plus whatever number, and not rolling 20 plus that number. I did that once.
Four in a day.
It's fine. Leon's using all of our crits up for the season now, so that we can have lots of trauma and tension later.
Yeah.
I love this. This is wonderful.
This is so good. I want to say that I think we might need to end our pilot episode on something here to give me time to think, because you were crushing this so badly. You were skipping like 2 episodes ahead.
I'm sorry.
Mm.